constitution says you cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me written law. Show me written law. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try rubbish. Don't try rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court judgment you don't respect. That's why we the court. Why we the court of law? I ask. Your constitution says you cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me the written law. Show me the written law. I want to know the law. Talk to me now. Show me the law. Are you okay? Don't go close. Yes. Excuse me.
No, they don't want to sell them. Who's still fighting?
Okay, what's happening?
No, I'm going to fire. I'm going to fire the person.
Okay. Is okay. So the father agreed. No, that's what he's telling us. He's going to fire.
He's coming. That's what he said.
Okay. We have to know. I don't know anyone anywhere.
Your man, I
very wonderful. No, nothing. Max. Look at Alhaji. Yes. Come
Do something, you will do it. And you're just sitting for people. And you wonder why God cost you this. Useless black man. You don't know what justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless black African people. You don't know justice. Your constitution says you cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me the written law. Show me the written law. I want to know the law.
Talk to me now.
Show me the law.
Are you okay?
Don't go close. Don't try rubbish. Don't try it. Don't try it.
Go ahead and say
don't try rubbish. Don't try rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court judgment you don't respect. Then why we in the court of law? Why we in the court of law? I ask. Nonsense. You think Britain can ask you to jail me and you jail me? You are dreaming. You are dreaming. I'm telling you that you are dreaming. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court judgment you don't respect. Then why we are keeping this. Why we in the court of law? I ask. Nonsense. You think Britain can ask you to jail me and you jail me? You are dreaming. You are dreaming. It's not everything wrong. You cannot. You cannot. You can't convict me. Are you saying? It's not possible. I'm Nnamdikanu. Who's going to try it? And they've not killed them dead to the person. We never. Which law is that? Which law is it?
Good morning.
Yes, I know you attended the proceedings today.
Yes, I did.
For Nigerians to know.
Yeah.
Just a summary of what happened.
Well, what happened in court today, for me, continues to be travesty of justice. I've always said it that in Nigeria there appear to be two sets of rules, one for the Igbo man and another for the other Nigerians. This is exactly what I saw in court today. First of all, my name is Honorable Obi Agocha. I represent the great people of Iguano, Umuahia North and Umuahia South Federal Constituency. I am the primary representative for Mazi Nnamdikanu. So I'm going to speak to you as a layman lawyer Today, there was a motion that was filed. Previously, I believe at the end of October, another motion was filed. And none of those motions were challenged by the prosecution team. They didn't raise any objection. The court did not overrule anybody, but admitted the motion. So on what basis then is the trial, the efforts that are being put to compel Nnamdikanu to trial when the motions have been put and yet to be challenged by the prosecution team? Nnamdikanu is asking for a simple question: on what law is he being tried? Neither the judge nor the prosecution team have answered that. And today, that motion that was raised by Nnamdikanu and served to the prosecution team were not challenged. And it's very, very critical and important that we know that. However, the judge now ruled to say that he's reserved November 20th for ruling, when there are jurisdictional issues, thresholds that are yet to be overcome. So this is a political trial veiled as a criminal trial. And for the stability of the Southeast and for the stability of Nigeria in a whole, to bring to end the civil war that was fought in 1967, means that the president should please look at the totality of Nnamdikanu's trial and bring an end to this charade, a travesty of injustice, bring an end to it so that the Southeast can be peaceful again, Nigeria can be peaceful again. But if they are determined in the way they have steamrolled this process, rushing to a judgment, then like Nnamdi says, there's a God in heaven, and the injustices that have been meted to Igbos, we will not forget. We will not forget. Even if we forget, our children and our grandchildren will not forget. Because it is important that everybody notes it, especially Mr. President, that in order for him to consolidate his goodwill for 2027, start with how he handles the matter of Nnamdikanu. Because you cannot be there as the father of the nation and Nnamdikanu is being treated in the manner that he's been treated, when every other person who has been charged with almost similar offenses as Nnamdikanu, at the determination of the court, has been let go. So why is Nnamdi still being held down, being punished, being subjugated? It's simply because he's an Igbo man. So if we get it, the president gets this right, then we will begin the process of healing and reconciliation and putting back the Southeast back as a home where people can come and feel free in their homes without running away from all these high crime and criminalities that are happening in the Southeast. So Mr. President has an opportunity now. The world is looking at us, both from the persecution of Christians, from the persecution of Nnamdikanu, to know how we are going to, put our houses in order. But like I said, he's one person. You can take Nnamdikanu if you so wish. You have the authority. But many more Nnamdikanu will rise because this is clearly an injustice that is being meted at one person who happens to be an Igbo man. So I plead with Mr. President to note that this is a political trial, and which requires a political solution to bring everything to a closure. Thank you.
Those of you questioning why the unruly outburst of Nnamdikanu in court, it's all because he's being tried under unwritten law. It is a big problem. Now, this is what you should understand about this whole thing, about the stance of Nnamdikanu. Kanu is essentially saying that the Nigerian government are prosecuting him under laws that do not exist in any written form. That is, it is not codified or expressly defined in any Nigerian statutes, such as the Constitution, the Criminal Code, or the Terrorism Prevention Act. Kanu believes the charges against him, especially those related to treasonable felony, terrorism, or running an illegal group, are being applied arbitrarily, not based on a clear written legal provisions that specifies 2. 1. The exact offense committed, the legal element of that offense, and lastly, the corresponding punishment. Kanu's stance draws from Section 36 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which states a person shall not be convicted of any crime, of any offense, unless that offense is well defined and the penalty thereof is prescribed in a written law. This written law refers to acts of the National Assembly, laws of the State House of Assembly, or subsidiary legislation properly made under them. So if the act or the offense that Nnamdi Kanu is accused of committing aren't clearly or specifically described in a written law, then his trial by constitution standard has no legal foundation. Let us not forget that Kanu and his lawyers have repeatedly argued that the federal government is using politically motivated and vague charges to silence him. The terrorism label and the treasonable felony charges have been applied loosely to activism and self-determination efforts that are not defined in law as a crime. Therefore, the court is, in effect, inventing a law on the spot to justify his detention and trial. In the essence, Kanu is saying, if there is no specific written law that defines my action as a crime, then you are trying me under an unwritten law, and that violates the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, what happens if this very argument is accepted by the court? Of course, we are waiting for the judgment on 20th of November. But then we should also look into the legal implications. What happens? The entire trial could be rendered null and void. That is what should be expected if actually this is what to be considered. Because just like I do tell my friends, in Nigeria, laws are not being obeyed. It's not being taken serious with. It's not being standardized. It's all about what the government wishes and their considerations, what they stand for, what they want to do. Secondly, for the fact that it would mean the court lacks jurisdiction to actually try him, because I also maintain that the question of jurisdiction should have been something to even initially, talked about. I mean, it should be vehemently talked about. And lastly, any continued detention becomes unconstitutional. We all know that it's been almost like 5 years since the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, and he's been incommunicado. So these are the things the court should look after during the judgment day. However, if the court dismisses it, it implies they believe the Terrorism Prevention Act or Criminal Code already covers the alleged offenses. There is a written legal basis. Or probably, like I earlier stated, it could be that they are trying to do whatever they wishes to do with him, because Nnamdi Kanu already is being politically, tried. But let's go into the political background of this whole thing. Politically then, beyond the legal argument, Kanu's statement also carries symbolic weight. He's implying that his trial is political persecution, disguised as justice by calling it an unwritten law. He's accusing the Nigerian state of bending the law to serve political interests rather than upholding its constitution. And I see that the Nigerian government is likely to actually infringe some sort of strange law into the, or should I say, alter some kind of law into the constitution, so that Nnamdi Kanu could be jailed, probably convicted. That is what at stake now. Otherwise, whatever judgment that comes up on 20th of November is let's just watch and see to whatever that comes up. But then, if it should be, because as we speak, Kanu is legally right. Okay, Kanu is legally right, but we wait to see what happens.